Good evening. For WRCO News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers visited the University of Wisconsin-Superior Monday. Governor Evers used the visit to welcome students back to the campus and promote his plans to increase funding for state colleges and universities. His plan is to increase funding by $850 million in his two-year budget. The proposed increase was made in response to the closure of a number of branch campuses, layoffs, and funding shifts. State Republicans are expected to fight the increase as they have in the past. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin announced the Department of Veterans Affairs has awarded more than $4.2 million in retroactive benefits for over 100 veterans who were misdiagnosed at a Wisconsin VA medical center and subsequently denied compensation and benefits. Senator Baldwin pushed the VA to re-examine veterans who were misdiagnosed for neurological conditions by a particular doctor at the Toma VA Medical Center and to provide those impacted new exams and benefits. Of the 941 veterans who received exams from Dr. Mary Jo Lanska, Senator Baldwin announced that the VA has identified 649 veterans who may have been negatively impacted by the exams. The remaining 292 veterans either had their original claims appropriately approved from the earliest possible effective date, or their exam did not factor into their final disability benefits decision, so no additional exam is required. Of those 649, 151 equitable relief claims have been filed and 101 have been granted, yielding $4.27 million in retroactive benefits paid. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources reminds hunters and the public to help prevent the spread of chronic wasting disease and other illnesses between deer by following all baiting and feeding bans and refraining from baiting and feeding in areas where no bans are in effect. Baiting is the intentional placement of any material, including food, scented materials, salts, minerals, and grains, to attract wild animals for hunting purposes. Feeding is the deliberate placement of material used to feed or attract wild animals for non-hunting purposes, including recreational and supplemental feeding, except as allowed for birds and small animals. Baiting and feeding encourage deer to congregate unnaturally around a specific location, creating an environment where infected deer can quickly spread diseases like CWD through direct contact with healthy deer or through the indirect contact in the environment. Infected deer can also leave infectious CWD prions behind in their saliva, blood, feces, and urine, creating a risk to any healthy deer that may visit the site in the future. CWD can spread rapidly when these prions remain in an area where more deer are sure to congregate, such as a feed pile. To mitigate these risks and slow the spread of CWD, state law directs the DNR to impose baiting and feeding bans within any county with a confirmed CWD-positive wild or captive deer or any county within 10 miles of the location of the positive deer. Counties fall under a 3-year baiting and feeding ban when a wild or farm-raised deer tests positive for CWD in the county. If the CWD-positive deer is found within 10 miles of a county line, the adjoining county will fall under a 2-year ban. If additional CWD cases are found during the lifetime of a baiting and feeding ban, the ban will reset for an additional 2 to 3 years. Therefore, the date when a baiting and feeding ban would be lifted on a given county may change due to new farm-raised and wild CWD-positive detections. In counties where baiting and feeding bans are in effect, individuals may still feed birds and small mammals, provided feeding devices are within 50 yards of a human dwelling and at a sufficient height or design to prevent access by deer. Find more information on baiting and feeding regulations and a map of counties with active bans on the DNR's Baiting and Feeding Regulations webpage. What comes to mind when you think about purchasing a car? For many, it's driving from dealer to dealer in search of the right vehicle. Then when you find the car you want, you must spend hours in an office haggling for the best price while trying to understand the financing and payment terms. Given the stress often involved in buying a car in person, many dealers are figuring out ways to simplify the process by moving it online. One main perk of purchasing a car online is that there is less emotion involved. It's easier to stay detached when chatting with someone remotely, and this could help you make a clear-headed purchase. Also, any discussion you have about pricing or financing generally comes through email, which means you have everything in writing and can thoroughly review the terms without a salesperson nearby. You can make this significant spending decision on your own time, even after regular business hours. If you are considering buying a car online, the Better Business Bureau recommends how to help you avoid getting scammed and get the best deal possible. Set a budget. You will also want to factor in the monthly expenses of owning a vehicle, including insurance payments, fuel, parking, and routine maintenance and repairs. A clearly defined budget will make choosing a car, negotiating with a dealer, and getting a loan much more straightforward. Do thorough research. Assess your personal needs first. This will help you narrow down the makes and models as you search for a vehicle that fits your needs. Once you have narrowed your search, compare models you are interested in, keeping a close eye on safety ratings, owner reviews, and warranties. Visit manufacturer websites to see detailed images of each car and research MPG statistics, interior options, cargo space, towing capacity, and more. The more you spend on these initial steps, the more comfortable you will feel when purchasing. Shop for a deal. These may include cashback deals, rebates, low-interest financing options, or incentives for recent graduates, military veterans, rideshare drivers, or first responders. In addition, many dealers are willing to make price cuts on previous year models or any model that did not sell as well as expected. Purchasing one of these surplus vehicles can mean extra incentives from the dealer. Pre-qualify for a loan. Pre-qualifying for a loan gives you a few advantages when approaching a dealer to make a purchase. First, you can set a reasonable price range that fits your budget. Second, when approaching a dealer with a pre-approved loan, you give them a price limit they must meet to make a sale, saving you money. Of course, most car dealers offer their in-house financing for consumers, but you may get lower interest rates on loans from your bank or credit union, so it's important to compare. Search dealers for inventory. Now that you have a specific make and model in mind and a pre-approved loan, you're ready to start shopping. Take advantage of online showrooms to get a close look at the vehicle. Many online dealers feature dozens of photos from various angles so that you can inspect each car closely from the comfort of your home. Compare the offerings of multiple dealers and be sure you check the dealer's business ratings, reviews, and complaint history on bbb.org before you reach out to them. When you find a trustworthy dealer with a car you want, it's time to contact the sales manager. During your initial conversations, focus on what car you are interested in, whether they have it or can get it, and how much they will sell it for. Give the sales manager the general price range that fits your budget. If things go smoothly and you feel good about purchasing with this dealer, you can arrange a test drive with the sales manager or move forward toward making the purchase. If you are considering purchasing a certified pre-owned vehicle, now is the time to request a copy of the vehicle history report. You should always take a test drive before you sign the final paperwork. There is no substitute for seeing a car in person, looking under the hood, sitting in the driver's seat, and ensuring the engine runs smoothly. To do so, you may need to travel to the dealer's place of business. Some dealers offer the ability to test drive upon delivery, and if anything isn't as expected, you may cancel the sale. Take the route that works best for you, but never skip the test drive. Complete the sale at the dealer or upon delivery. If everything checks out, decide how you will complete the sale. It is still usually necessary to sign the final paperwork in person. If you would rather avoid visiting the dealership, ask about delivery. Some dealers will drop off the car at your home or business and allow you to sign upon delivery. There are many pros to buying a car online, but caution is also needed. Watch out for too good to be true deals. Be cautious about wiring funds or completing bank-to-bank transactions. See the car first. Don't give in to pressure. Don't trust a seller or buyer who says the transaction is guaranteed by eBay, PayPal, Craigslist, or another online marketplace. These sites explicitly explain they cannot guarantee that people using their services are legitimate. To learn more, see the Better Business Bureau tips on buying a car. It's National Voter Registration Day. Today is a great day to register to vote, update your voter registration, or learn more about the voting process. Check out myvote.wi.gov. September's full harvest moon will light up the sky tonight. The harvest moon is a full moon that occurs closest to the autumnal equinox, which this year is September 22nd, marking the first day of fall. It is also a supermoon, meaning it's slightly bigger and brighter than an average moon. Adding to the skywatching fun, there will also be a partial lunar eclipse taking place where Earth's shadows fall on the moon. This will happen around 9:44 tonight, where the top 8% of the moon will become dark for a time. The next total lunar eclipse visible from the States will be on March 14th next year. Rural Life Day will be held tomorrow at the Randy and Shelley Schmidt and Ryan and Chrissy Schmidt Farm in rural Lone Rock. Those attending Rural Life Day will be gathering to praise God for providing an abundant food source and to honor the farmer, the steward of these resources. The event will begin at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, featuring a mass followed by lunch and farm tours. Recognition of Century Farm's outstanding farm family and friends of rural life will also take place. The Randy and Shelley Schmidt and Ryan and Chrissy Schmidt Farm is located at 29281 Fairview Road, Lone Rock. All are welcome to attend.